Thanks for clicking on the video. What we're going to be doing in this video is looking at how we're going to attract new parents into our setting to fill our setting up and some of the ways we can look to do that. So I finally figured out how to do it. We're going to split the screen, quite happy with it. Just got an iPad. Going to walk you through on the iPad and hopefully all things go well. So inevitably, if we're going to fill our nursery, the main thing we have got to do is we've got to attract, let's use the pen that helpful. We've got to attract new parents first, okay? So that can be done by a lot of different ways. In this video, we're going to be looking at specifically how we can use Facebook ads. But if you are relying on referrals, if you're maybe just posting a few times organically on Facebook, you've got to be looking at how many different ways can we attract parents to get into our setting. Effectively, then inevitably 9 times out of 10, the second step is going to be booking a tour with a parent, okay? So getting them to come and have a look around, talking to them, seeing what they're looking for and checking it as a good fit for them. Your tour is a huge part. It's huge that you get it right. It's huge that you are asking the right questions and not just talking too much to the parent. And effectively then obviously the final step whenever trying to get new people enrolled is effectively converting them, and that is effectively when the nursery then gets paid afterwards. So when we look at different ways in which we can, let's make sure it's on the iPad screen, okay, how we can attract new parents. So Google's going to be a big one. So have you got your Google profile set up? Have you got it with the correct address? Have you got some pictures? Are you getting parents to review your page? Really, really important, because Google is going to be where a lot of parents start if they're looking for themselves. In terms of how can we attract parents, other options are you can run open days, very traditional old school thing to do. Bring in a bouncy castle, maybe some theme characters, do some cake decorating, run some different events and get children and parents in your nursery that way. Very traditional old school way. Another thing you can do is any kind of promotional material such as flyers. You might get them posted, you might hand them out, you might give them away at fairs, whatever. Another kind of old school traditional route in which you can use. I would argue right now, if you're looking, especially if you're looking to increase your nursery capacity and occupancy as soon as you can, Facebook ads has got to be a huge part of your strategy. It's where parents spend their time. It's where they spend their time when they're not necessarily looking, and it's, in my opinion, also a very untapped market in terms of nursery ads, which if you are doing them and you're doing them well, it's going to put you multiple steps ahead of your competition. It's going to put you in front of new parents, and it's going to get more parents into your nursery, which then effectively will lead to more conversions and higher occupancy. So what I want us to talk through is kind of what a traditional Facebook ad you may think or we may run. So a very traditional Facebook ad that directs parents to your website, and then the issue with just doing that is quite often then if the parents don't get past your website, they don't book a tour, they don't call you, you do not have their contact email and number. The process stops here. You've ran a Facebook ad, they've gone to your website, but you don't now have that. You don't know who they are. You don't have their details. Yes, we can retarget through Facebook based on the engagement. So on Facebook, we can run ads in which anyone who is engaged in your Facebook page will then see, kind of the next ad or future ads. But you don't have any data on that parent. You can't email them any information. You can't call them to book a tour because you've directed them straight to your website without capturing that data. So if we look at a slightly different method, and this is something that's really, really worked well and kind of changed the game for our nurseries, is you run that Facebook ad, but instead it's to download a parent pack. So for a parent, this is a really easy thing for them to receive. There's no friction for them. If they're concerned about talking to a nursery or you kind of asking them to come for a tour and maybe they're not ready for that, a parent pack is something that's absolutely phenomenal for them to request. They get loads of information that they can review and take on board in their own time. But to do that, they have to, oh, come on, Jack, what's going on here? Rubber? Oh, hey. To do that, they have to give you their contact number and email to get the parent pack. So then you've got all the parents' contact details. When you've got, let's rub these out. When we've now got these, okay, that's the data. That's what you need to then retarget that parent. So you've got that data and it's individual to that parent. You can nurture that parent. You can invite them to an open day. You can do whatever you want to do. Run an offer, a campaign, but you can retarget that parent. And that's huge for your strategy. So let's dive into now what we think, or what the Facebook ad should do, what the parent download pack should be, and then hopefully then that can result in your call to action. So if we're looking at a traditional Facebook ad, just make it a little bit thinner. This may be made up of photos. Okay, it's a very easy option for many people. It may be videos, and this is something that I think is huge right now. Again, if you're looking to stand out and be different to your other local nurseries and competitors, it's much easier to post photos. But that's also why that's what other people will be doing. And quite often in the nursery space, you see lots of pictures being posted of the children's activities and what they've been doing, which is great and it's phenomenal, and parents want to see that. But it's not very high quality. It's not, if you're trying to attract new parents, that's our focus here. It's not going to necessarily attract new parents. It's not going to stand out. If you've got a video of your nursery, and that could be done in many different ways. So that could be a video of lots of different clips around the nursery in form of B-roll, and it could be you doing a voiceover and you talking about your nursery with just lots of clips of the children and the activities. The video might be almost like a virtual tour, and the video might be other things in which you're doing like activities and showing parents how they might be able to do activities from home. Whatever different videos you can do that gets you the eyeballs to get to the next step, which is that parent pack. In the parent pack, again, you're going to have photos of your nursery. You may have QR codes that go to different videos, so they can go from your parent pack to videos. It may be opportunities to do meet the staff, to start building that rapport with your staff and make their children feel safe, make them feel comfortable, or make them feel that it's going to be safe and comfortable for their children. Another thing that's really powerful that you can put in here is parent reviews. So obviously you can have parent reviews by text, or you can also do parent reviews by video. And again, parent reviews can be an ad to run as well. So they work really well. So if you run an ad, which is a parent talking to camera about why they love your nursery, that's going to resonate with other parents, and it's going to really help bring in new eyeballs. But yeah, you can add whatever you want into this parent pack to make it as informative as possible for parents. And you really want to focus on building, let's put that back in there. You really want to focus on building trust with the parents, making them think this is where they want to send their child. This is where they're going to trust their child to be. And ultimately, the main aim of the game is to always get a tour booked. Okay, so CTA is just a call to action, and you want that as many times as possible. So you want to add it to your parent pack. You want to add it to your website. It needs to be really easy and stress-free for a parent to book a tour. So have you got it set up that they can book a fixed time? Have you got it that they can just request through the website? Lots of people have it, they've got to call the nursery, which, yes, talking to a parent is amazing, but if that's going through to your site phone number, your staff are busy, they're either missing the calls or they're answering the call, but they're busy. That's not going to put parents at ease. It's not going to put them feeling confident, and it's just starting the whole process really poorly. One thing for you to look at, you can run the best Facebook ads in the world, but if your website isn't any good, you're going to really struggle to get further down that conversion line. So when we go back to the start, Facebook ads is your attract mechanism. So how do we get more eyeballs on our nursery? How you then get a tour booked and convert is really, really important, and your website is going to play a huge part of that. So on your website, is there clear messaging? So when a parent lands on your website, is there clear messaging around what you're like as a nursery, how it's going to feel for their child, and what the next steps are for them? Okay, so make sure you cover off who you are, where you're located, and why should they trust you with their child. And that is absolutely huge. So everything from a Facebook ad to a parent pack to a tour has got to be building trust with the parent and making them feel that they can trust you with their child. On your website, make sure you're using real images. Okay, real images of your setting. Make it look good. Make parents want to come to your setting. Huge. Do not use stock photos, and definitely do not use AI photos. So something we touched on a little bit earlier as well is you need to have clear call to actions. Okay, so booking a tour, and depending upon your nursery, if you've got waiting lists, if you're in a big city or anything like that, you may need to have check availability and join in a waiting list. And again, make that as clear and as easy as possible. The other thing your website needs to do is you, and as we touched on earlier, need to capture parents' data. That is huge and it is powerful. Without the parents' data, you can't retarget them. Okay, and as we discussed, free downloadable parent pack will get you that data that you need. Okay. Hopefully that was helpful for you and will help you connect those dots. So really, really important that your Facebook app is helping you capture the parents' data so you can retarget them. The Facebook app can be photos, it can be videos, it can be parent testimonials to get new eyeballs on your nursery, and make sure there is clear call to actions to book a tour, because if you're not booking tours, you're not getting parents in the doors to show them around, then you are definitely not going to be getting the sign up for your nursery. If you've got any further questions around anything that I've explained in this video, please drop a comment in the video.